Hello! Okay, before we even dive into any of the content that I want to share with you today, and it's juicy, juicy content, I'm coming to you after a workout, before I shower, but this is on my mind, it's on my heart, and I want to share it with you guys. I don't know if you've been following me when I had my race track on the wall behind me, but I thought maybe I solved the problem by matching paint. Clearly, the paint didn't match. So instead of a racetrack, now I have a darker blue on a lighter blue wall. So that's that. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I want to have kind of an emotional discussion, and it's not a discussion because I'm talking to you on a recording, but I want you to discuss this within the group. I want us to discuss this. We can chat on the Voxer app, so please don't be afraid to reach out to me there. We can chat within the Facebook group. That just allows everybody to see the questions and the thoughts that come up for you, and it really helps more people when we chat within the Facebook group. But just know that I'm here for you 24/7. I care so deeply about your success. And I want to talk to you about something that I've been testing on myself. It's been really, really on my heart a lot lately. And that is getting underneath the surface of our emotions in order to push our business forward, in order to push the needle forward in our business. I have been working with clients one-on-one and in a group setting for about 4 years now, and passive courses, completely passive DIY courses are just not my thing because you need a little extra handholding, and there's nothing wrong with needing a little extra handholding. We are humans. The human species craves human connection, and right? Put your hand up. We want to feel emotions. We want to touch other people. We want to have conversations in our living room, and the internet does not allow us to do that. So we need to find other ways to connect. Video and audio are huge ways that we can connect with each other. But also when we're growing a business and when we're talking about something like systems and automation, which can be a boring topic, we need to get to the root of our problem, right? Your problem is not that you don't have the right system set up. The problem is not that you don't have a funnel. The problem is not your website. It's not your lead generation. It's your mind, right? And a general business coach or consultant will say, you gotta fix your mindset. You need to get rid of those limiting beliefs. We need to identify those limiting beliefs. And yes, that's true, but I still think that's surface level. I still think that we need to go deeper than that. And as females especially, we need to understand ourselves more than we understand anything else in this world. And too often we're focused on where we're going to find the next client or how we're going to make money to pay our bills. And that's okay. But it's not your why. It's not the reason you're in business. It should not be the reason you're in business. There's an underlying reason why you're here, because you have the itch to serve. You have the itch to give value. I'm getting a phone call, so I'm declining. You have that itch, right? And you want to serve and you want to make a large impact globally, right? And if you don't see that for yourself yet, it will come, because that's why you're here, right? We don't leave a 9-to-5 job because we think this lifestyle is going to be easier. It's actually harder, right? And you'll find that when you do leave your 9-to-5 steady state income job, growing a business on your own is not easy. It's hard, but we do it because we're doing it out of passion, right? No matter what type of entrepreneur you are, you're freedom-based, you're time-based, you're money-based, those are your values. So figure out what your values are, but make sure that along the process or even before starting the process, we understand ourselves. So here's, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts by Kate Northrup. If you're not familiar with Kate Northrup, the first podcast that I listened to where she was interviewed was Entrepreneur on Fire. The second podcast I listened to was something else a friend of mine sent me. Let me just get the name for you because she's been on many, many podcasts, and I think she's the only person who's talking about cycle alignment as a female and aligning that with your time and task management in your business. So Entrepreneurs on Fire interviewed Kate Northrup. Also, this one is the the Melissa, what is this show called? The Melissa Show? The Melissa Ambrose Show, it looks like. Yeah, the Melissa Ambrosini Show. And one I have not yet listened to is Jenna Kutcher. So Jenna Kutcher also interviewed Kate Northrup. So I haven't found anybody else online who talks about this, aside from the girl who does the MyFlow app. I think she talks a little bit about this. But Kate Northrup has been the one who I have been finding on podcasts. And she talks about the female species and how our hormonal cycles affect everything. And a lot of people in the wellness space are talking about this as it relates to food cycling. And I've been doing a little bit of research on intermittent fasting and for the female species, whether we should be consistently intermittent fasting or if we should be aligning our fasting routine with our hormonal cycle as well. For the purposes of my coaching and this growth method systems course, I will be applying time and task management to our hormonal cycles. So I want to know if you've read this book. It's called Do Less. I have not read it. It just came in the mail, so I'm going to start it. Now, I'm showing you my research because I've been doing this now for 2 months, and it's absolutely incredible. And I did kind of outline a step-by-step process that I want to share with you if this is the right way. So there's an app called Flow. You're going to see my ring light. This is real and raw with you guys here. I want you to be able to read this. So there's an app called Flow. I'm actually enjoying the MyFlow app a little bit better. If you don't know what phase you're in any given day of your hormonal cycle, I'm sorry, this is kind of awkward, but step 1 is identifying your cycle phases. So if you're not yet aware of the 4 phases, it's the menstrual phase. I'm going to put this down because it hurts my hand. I'll just explain to you guys. It's the menstrual phase, it's the follicular phase, the ovulation phase, and then the luteal phase, okay? So we want you, as a step 1, to really understand what phase you're in and when out of the month. Now men, interestingly enough, go through the same 4 phases as a woman does, but in 24 hours, which is why men don't understand the female species, and it's so important for us to collaborate on this with our partners to be able to understand each other, because in different phases of our cycle, which is on average 28 days, we experience different mood swings, we experience different energy swings, we experience so many different symptoms that we should be aware of and we likely are not aware of. And as a female, these phases are drawn out over, on average, 28 days. And as a male, they go through all these phases every single day consistently in 24 hours. So a man can have a routine, and it can be the same exact routine every single day of their life, and they can be golden. But as a female, we can't have that same routine. So when it relates to business, we need to make sure that we are aligning specific tasks and time management in our business when we are most optimal to perform those tasks and time management, okay? So understanding your cycle is step 1. I want you to understand what these 4 phases are. So as it relates to business. So in the menstrual phase, which is typically 5 days in length, right? It can be 5 to 7 or 4 to 6, depending on how long you menstruate. We need to know ourselves, right? We need to get more in tune with our body. So during this menstruation time, which is 5 days, that is when we should be taking a break. We should be doing our research. We should be reflecting on the past month or the past launch that we did. That's a good time for break, research, and reflection, okay? After menstruation comes the follicular phase, and this is typically 7 days in length. So we have 5 days to break, research, reflect, and then we start the follicular phase, and that's 7 days where we are optimized to brainstorm, to start new things, and we typically have a lot of energy during those 7 days. Okay, so knowing that, you can apply that energy to your business. You can apply that where you schedule time to actually sit down and brainstorm and start a new project that has been on your mind, right? So 5 days in menstruation, 7 days in the follicular phase, Ovulation is next, and we typically ovulate, let's see, I have it written down, between 16 to 32 hours. And you'll need to identify how long your ovulation is. But what's interesting is, so this is about 1 to 2 days where we are optimized to present. So presentations, shooting videos, going to meetings, hosting live events. So this is where you can batch your content. If you have to record videos, during ovulation is when you are best suited to sit down and record your videos. So task that in to your schedule, right? 1 to 2 days. Now, the very last phase is the longest phase, and interestingly enough, it is the luteal phase when we're doing the most heavy lifting of our projects. So for those of you who say, I don't have time to complete projects, I start projects all the time, I never complete them, I'm multi-passionate, but I can't ever finish something, you're in the luteal phase for 14 days. And this is when you are most optimized to do the heavy lifting in your business, to complete projects, to cross your T's, to dot your I's. So knowing this about yourself, you really don't have an excuse to not finish projects anymore. So isn't that interesting? That's super, super interesting. So what I recommend you do is identify your cycle phases, and then I want you to track your phases for 30 days and identify these aligned tasks that go along with that. And then on step 3, it's just simply working on aligning your business tasks with your cycle. It's not going to happen overnight, but the more we practice this, we're gonna feel really good about ourselves, and we're gonna move the needle forward in our business. So I'm not going to go any further at the moment. I just wanted to share that research with you because it's super intriguing to me, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it because it's helping me to understand myself, and I want to share that with you guys. Furthermore, we can touch on this later or within the Facebook group discussion. Your projects, so any given project that you do, which a launch of a new offer would be a project, also has 4 phases. And the 4 phases are pause, initiation, launching, and completion. Now, I do have a launch strategy template uploaded within this group. You can go to the files in the Facebook group and see that. It guides you through preparing a launch and then actually launching a project. And if you need help on an individual basis, please reach out to me. I'll help you out. And I'm trying to help as many people in a group setting as I can here. So one-on-one attention is available to you if you need it. But understand that you also need to start a project by pausing and taking a break and reflecting maybe on the prior project that you started, or doing some research. And then after you do that, you need to move into actually initiating this project and start doing the project. And then you need to launch the project, right? And then you need to complete the project. And there is those 4 phases to every project. And Kate Northrup talks about that as well. I'm really excited to read this book, and I might send this book. This is an idea that just popped into my head. Would you guys be interested in receiving your own free copy of this book? Because this is something I'm absolutely adding to the growth method. You guys are getting this now for the very first time. And for those of you who are watching this video after this first round of the growth method launch, you might be getting this for free, because this is so important. If we understand ourselves, we are better serving others, because when we understand and are aligned internally with our own feelings and emotions, we then become more confident in what we do. So when we're growing a business, we're more confident in who we're serving, how we're serving, and how we're showing up. And then when we are more confident in who we're serving, how we're serving, and how we show up, we make a larger impact on the world. It's a trickle-down effect. When we are confident, those who we surround ourselves with are confident, which then makes them more confident to serve their people. And it's a trickle-down effect, and that's what I want for each and every one of you. So I'm gonna cut this video short now. Please let me know if you have any triggering thoughts or emotions. But if you want this video, I think I'm gonna send you guys this book. I think I'm gonna do that.